Welcome to the shop, a Moto podcast with your host, Jake Lowry and Grayson Crumb.
This can be edited. I just gotta make sure. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Live.
We are live here at Shop Moto Pod Studio. I got two special guests with me today. Jake is not here. Where's Jake? Jake's at home. He went to Indianapolis for the week. Hadn't been there all week. He did a podcast without me here, and so I needed to step it up. So what I'm doing, I brought in two guests. Both were with me all week at
Sunshine
in Florida.
State, baby.
Yeah, Sunshine State. We got Macqueen Treadwell. He's already here.
You're pointing at me.
Yeah. Macqueen is already here. We all know him. Newbie on the podcast. Corey Holcomb.
Mentioned a lot.
First
Mentioned
time
before.
on a digital radio program. So
Corey, how are you feeling? How are you?
I'm kind of nervous. That
Yeah.
This is all going to be on the record. And
Yeah, don't burn any bridges today.
Yeah, Corey.
It's permanent.
Yes,
in a way.
Corey's been a long time Midsouth rider. How old are you?
Long time. 28, man.
Oh God, how long have you been running?
Since I was 5, so 23 years strong.
Oh yes,
Strong.
yes.
Every year in there. There's a couple where we were slacking off, but
dude, that is.
always had a bike, man.
Wow.
Always.
And if you don't, you probably all have seen him. He's the one with the annoying dog at the track.
Oh
If you
God.
haven't seen me, you heard me, probably.
Yes, the Yamaha two banger, local. He's in the pits all the time.
Maybe working on his van
Hey,
on the
I've seen
side
a lot
of
of
the road.
people
Yeah.
with the two-strokers around here these days.
Yeah.
You know, I can't help but think, how
You started the
little
trend.
influence.
Yes.
Little influence.
Everybody knows his dad. It feels like Brooks. He's been riding for 40 years probably. Yeah.
Dude, like he has the stat where he says that he has a trophy for 50 years from 73 to 2023.
Holy
He gets one
crap.
This year.
Fletcher showed me one in his shop the other day that was from 72 or 73. 50
That's-
years ago.
That's
yeah.
insane. I can't
It's-
wait to
it's
show my
unbelievable.
kids like a trophy from like 2004, and we'll all just be
Hidden
like,
Valley.
yeah. Oh, Hidden Valley was.
cornfield now. son.
I will take them to that spot.
God.
I
There's
will.
a Target there now, buddy.
Dude, I've got countless Brooks stories of him going, oh, and there used to be a track right there, and it's a freaking gas station or whatever.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Yeah. I think Hidden Valley has given us a lot of memories. You can't.
Oh, hell yeah.
So Corey's he was in the rise and fall of Midsouth Moto for sure.
We're heading down a wrong path.
Yeah, see, this could be a whole.
hard right.
We could take a whole 4-hour
right.
show for this.
Hard right.
We're on here to talk about the goods and the bads of Florida, our trips.
Florida, baby.
Yes, our own experiences. We each had a different high and low at RCSX. We each had a different high and low on the whole Florida trip. And we're just going to talk about that for a little. Then we'll go into some deep dive questions about Corey and, get to know him a little bit. Hopefully he could be a regular podcaster. We'll start off with, we all watch the Supercross. We don't know it. Eli Tomac's a badass. Stolen the track.
Yeah, you led that.
Daytona.
Dude, me and Tucker hopped it quick. Me and Tucker were there. And
I definitely ate shit in the sand this year.
the sand was
Oh,
everywhere.
it was all in my shirt during the podium.
And it seemed like after walking it,
Did you really?
Yeah, big time.
I didn't know that.
Like full of white sand.
we were all as
Just
soon
like
as Tomac Cross the
itchy.
Checkers does his burnout, and then everybody starts storming the podium. It's like we all just vanish. From
Yeah.
each other. It's
Yeah,
like,
I
we'll
can see
y'all
Grayson because Grayson's big as fuck, and he's like right in front of me. It's like, oh, there's Grayson.
we were right. Yeah, and
Why is Grayson running so fast?
God, I've never seen Grayson's hauling, jumping over tough
I'm a
blocks.
super big Tomac fan over there.
Big Tomac guy.
Dude, just can you imagine if Hayden Deegan would have won?
Oh my God.
They
here
would
we
have stormed
go.
it. I bet they would have stormed it
before.
before the 450 main. I would guarantee it. I would have,
yeah.
we had a group of kids in front of us that would have for sure taken a bullet to the head.
Yeah, it was loud every time he came
Yeah,
by. I mean,
God.
I don't hate the guy at all. Like I'm a fan, of any up and coming guy entering the pros, but that is just on another level. I've never seen anything like that before.
I mean, like,
sure.
like Grayson, like Hunter Lawrence would come around smoking like super fast.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, that's the guy you should cheer for, and be like, nothing. And then Hayden Deegan, this would be like qualifying.
Yeah.
Hayden Deegan's coming around, not even on a heater. He's like checking out lines.
Yeah.
There's 14 of these 12-year-olds like, yeah, Hayden Deegan.
Yeah, like people are like, there's an Australian dude who won, I think, and then a British guy got
But we're here
second,
for
but
Deegan,
Deegan got third. Deegan was winning it. And
the YouTubers.
Everywhere. After storming the track on Saturday, like Sunday, the RCSX, the sand, they took a lot of sand out, it feels like, compared to I wish they kind of would have left it, but that would have been like that's my years past. I feel like they left a lot more, but this year it feels like they took all the sand out of it. What do you think?
Yeah, it looks like they pushed a bunch of it with the bulldozer, like scrape, because you could see the.
I don't think it was as deep.
Yeah, not
yeah,
at all.
that like that morning in practice, and where it's like that S turn before you go back across the start.
Yeah,
it was. You could see that like the grass and like the hard base was already there. Like, it's like they pushed all the sand off on purpose.
Yeah.
But then it seems like they pushed it back on when Moto started a little bit, but. Yeah, it seems like they pushed it all the way down to the base.
Yeah, I wish they kind of would have kept. I think it would have been a bigger game changer if they would have kept it.
I think there was more sand last year for RCSX.
I think so
year.
too.
Just enough to maybe make mention, but still it was very similar.
Yes,
I mean, obviously same layout, same track.
Yeah,
so.
track layout was the same, but it was different. You know, it was.
Yeah, it was better in the spots that needed to be changed from the year prior. Like there wasn't those switchbacks where
like
it was just
RCSX was pretty different though this year.
Yeah, like it was. I thought it was different in a couple good ways. You know.
Yeah.
Like
whereas like the actual pro track was exactly the same.
Yes. Yeah. I guess
like
actual pro track was exactly the same. Maybe there's a couple things, but RCSX for being the same layout, they still changed it, but I think changed it for the better compared to what 2022's track was.
Yeah.
Yes, I think personally, I think they kind of. I'm not gonna say the track was like super gnarly. I mean, compared to what we ride.
Yeah.
That was a legit supercross track. Like that wasn't like Rob's Arena Cross. Like that was legit.
Yeah,
like,
it was peaky. For
yeah,
sure,
it had rhythm. It had rhythm
compared to the past 3 years as well. I mean, absolutely the definitely the biggest track that I had ridden yet, and this is my third year doing it.
It had options where you can go 2, 3, 2, 3. Yeah, and if you didn't have to.
On more than one section too.
Yes.
In the years past, it's just been maybe there's one, maybe two sections, but this year there was 2, 3 different areas where you could kind of switch up lines depending on what your skill level was or what class you were in.
And I was a fan of that. Corey, tell us your opinion on. We're laughing because Corey. How many laps did we put in at RCSX?
Man, so I made my 2 practices in the morning, so we got like 8 laps there.
Yeah.
And then,
vibes were good. You had fun.
Yeah.
I mean, you were kind of like, you know what? Today will be fun racing in the speedway. And, whatever. I figured out the track. Yeah.
Like track was okay. Track was like they're saying. Track was good and fun and everything. There's just one section that was kind of a little too much. And so I made it my 8 laps of practice, and then I had a good start. I made it the first lap around, and then the second lap just ass over tea kettle. I made it like 3 whoops in and just lost control. Just pretty much wrapped up my RCSX right there. Didn't know where I was for a second. It was just like at Grayson's on the sideline, watching the whole thing, and
I was there.
I had just gone to the gate with Corey and helped him out, and I kind of see the first lap. They move all of us off, and I was like, oh, he's 25 plus. That's a very fast class, as most anybody listening to this knows. And he was out of 35. I mean, what, 15th maybe? Top 15 first lap, and came around 10, after the first lap, still 15th. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get back on the pit bike and go back over to the garage because I had to get ready for my moto. And stop by the bathroom, check out live timing. I'm like, okay, it's like lap 3 or 4, and we're just in dead last, and we're just at the bottom now. And I was like, well, I need to go.
Yeah,
check on my rider.
She was rough. I mean, like in my practice laps that I made, I never. Like, they were gnarly whoops, man.
Yes.
Like, they were freaking big and peaky.
Huge for amateurs.
What was there, 9 or 10 of them? Like, there wasn't just, like, 6.
Yeah,
there was like 12 or 14.
Dude,
yeah.
it was a lot.
There was probably 12.
Like,
because
you're not 2 or 3 skipping through there no matter who you are. But so like even in practice when I was come up to him, I felt like doubling, I was going way too slow. So I would get like in this weird rhythm where I'd like double, and then just like kind of seesaw back and forth through the rest of them. And dude, in that race, like I just didn't have any plan or nothing. And when I had just, as Carmichael says, pressure from behind. I had some pressure from behind, and dude, I just got a little too much throttle. And was like in between jumping and skimming and just screwed myself.
Yeah, I watched it and I was like, okay, first lap. You were like, I'm like, oh, you kind of like half rolled and stuff, and I'm like, okay. You come on the next lap and it's like you doubled, and you wanted to triple, but like your front end went to triple, but your rear end was doubling, and it just like framed the whoop, and then it was like it looked like you kind of just like fell over, and so like I instantly it went like a big like scary crash, so I laughed. I go, Corey ate shit. And then,
as I would laugh if I saw Grayson crash in the whoops.
Exactly. And then what made it funnier was his visor was broken, so it was like
straight in my face.
Yeah, so and that made me laugh even more. And then like he was getting up, and the medics were there like instantly, and they're like,
dude, they were on it
all
like, race weekend.
They were like,
you went down.
Yeah,
I mean, the first turn,
parked by the whoops.
Yeah, they were like, get on the board, like the backboard. And Corey's like, no, and he's fixing his visor, and they're like, get on the board. And I'm like, if they make Corey get on this backboard right now, I'm jumping the fence and recording it in his face, because that would be hilarious.
It's like they're paid an incentive for how many people they get on the backboard.
Like, no, sir. You're getting on the backboard.
Yeah. Corey's like walking around fine, like, get on the backboard, sir.
Oh my god.
It's just my visor. It's just my visor.
And so I talked about last podcast on how big they were compared to me, but like there was a big difference between the guys who do legit Supercross and the guys who don't.
And Michael Lessie came around me in practice.
Oh, God.
I was like, oh, my God, this guy.
I'll also add, like, by no means are we going to claim that these were pro whoops, but
not
like
at all.
For amateur, they were about as peaked as you could get for an amateur set of whoops.
They were bigger than I've seen in any arena cross that I've
done. Including Hoosier Series, Midsouth, whatever.
The only thing I've seen that were kind of like that was the Tunica Hoosier when I went in 20, and Spencer crashed him. That's what broke both his wrists or whatever. And Jake said they were pretty, but they were bigger, but Tunicas they were peaky and stuff like that, and you couldn't skim them unless you knew how to skim them. Which if they put that in arena cross and they made everybody do it, I mean, I think that's a good way to learn. Put whoops like that everywhere, so like. They're not
feel for them.
Yeah, get an actual. If you wanted to do this seriously, I thought that was a good set to get a feel for them.
Yeah, they weren't terrible, but they were challenging.
I think it might have stemmed from there being a lot of complaints over the years talking about how the up and coming kids that are doing RCSX, then off to Texas for 2 weeks, that the track has been too dumbed down. And I can agree for their skill level. I think it is, but that might be why they left those whoops this year. It's kind of like, all right, you know what, we'll give it to you. And that's sure enough, you did see those kids really separate themselves pretty quick just through that one section of just like 12 to 14 whoops.
And I think that's why they made other rhythms too. I think that's how it kind of built the track up. And I'm not shitting on it. I thought it was a fun track. Honestly.
I had a blast.
No, it was a pretty fun track. If like the whoops were dumbed down, it'd be like an actually fun track to ride.
Because you didn't get a chance to do any other like rhythms, did you?
Like none of the I doubled everything, but I never tripled.
I think you would have tripled.
There's a couple of them I definitely would have done.
I know.
Most of our classes ended up doing it.
Yeah, the front pack. But I think Corey would have been the ones in our group because he's very skill level. He's a high skill level in our group, and
seen a lot.
Yeah, seen a lot. So RCSX, what was your high and low moment of it, Mac?
Let's see.
Because we know Corey's high and low were pretty close.
I think
together.
my low moment turned into my
the first lap low, the second lap.
Yeah.
I think my low moment turned into my high moment, but mainly just how I took. My goal this year is to really just attack each track I go to at races and just realize, your skill will get you through a lot more than you think. And Grayson, you and I have talked about this a lot, but just really being more aggressive right off the bat and not doing something stupid to get hurt, but just really thinking about, okay, this on the track, next time I go out, I'm going to hit that or something like that. And my low is probably just letting two jumps eat at me the rest of the day Saturday, and to where I was like, I'm going to morning practice Sunday morning if you want to get up with me or not, because I'm hitting these jumps first lap. And
Yeah.
I did. I kept my word. I hit them first lap. And
Or Monday morning.
Monday morning,
Yeah.
the day 2, basically. And so that turned into my high, was just kind of like I was able to figure the track out. And because I went with that mentality that I had been trying to kind of find earlier the day before, that was led to really two pretty good races Monday, which led to my best finish yet at RCSX, which was the 20th, which I was really, really excited about. To most people, that's, they want a top 10 or something.
Yeah.
But for me, it was just little bits at a time. We'll get there. And, I mean, I had to claw my way to a 32nd or 33rd place the first year I did it 2 years ago, and now I was with top 20 with the pack of 4 or 5 guys ahead of me. So it's just a little progress like that I was pretty stoked on. But, that track, when you got a clean lap, doubled through the whoops successfully, it made you feel like you were doing something on a hard amateur track, which for me, last year I don't know that I would have been able to do that. So the high is really just the result through the improvement of the weekend.
Yeah.
Kind of like going, hey, the race weekend isn't over. There's still time to hit these things you haven't done yet. You'll be fine. Just do it. And sure enough, it all worked out.
Yeah, I think
that was my opinion.
I think you struggle with that on race weekends too, and I try to get it in, like, because I'll be the same way too, and we talk about it. But like, just because you don't hit it, like maybe for the practice or the first moto or something, you could hit the last lap
of the last moto of
yeah.
the weekend, before you go get in the truck and go home.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
that's always, it's a good feeling when you do. I'm trying to remind myself that, just find that kind of mental space and just don't be so afraid sometimes when you know that you have the skill to do it, and it's just total mental block.
Do you you have any tips for that, Corey?
I mean, dude, jumping's it is so mental. Like even when you even those big ass jumps, like stuff that scares me and takes me like that big ass jump at Decker, like that big ass jump at Decker. It took me all day till like the last moto of the day, and dude, it's always just after you jump, you're like, man, that was so much easier. But
yeah.
Which
I
think
is
about
how
it, there's like so much, like we're doing something that's so dangerous and so calculated.
Yeah.
But it seemed like once you jump, you're like, oh, it's so easy. Your brain just turns it off.
Yeah.
But before you do it, you're calculating all your factors, know, and it's worth something to calculate it for sure. But I think getting better at it is literally just exposure thing, like the more and more you see, the easier it becomes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's one of those things that's like, if it didn't make you think and you weren't afraid of it, it wouldn't matter, like when you jumped it wouldn't have mattered. Like the shit you jump on the first or second lap, like it's cool, they're fun, but like they aren't going to give you that like that high or that level of rush or that satisfaction
when you do finally hit something. Yeah, absolutely.
Like that's
what
what
I
it's
try to
all
remind
about.
myself too, is like, hey, like you get over this fear. There's a lot of good that comes from it.
Yeah,
definitely so. And I think that even like the jumping thing, how that's fun, and like you conquer that. I think that's like the same thing with racing people. Like when you beat somebody that you think's faster than you, it's like the same thing. It's like, oh, dude, like that was fun. That was awesome. I can do that.
Yeah, and then it's definitely a big mental.
It's
it's
so mental, like everything.
Yeah, it's
everything
insane.
Is so kind of mental in a way.
Yeah, it's insane how we can like, I don't think any other sport can connect how, like, because like if you watch football and you're a big football fan, you can't experience the same mentalness of
setting.
of what Tom Brady's doing or whatever, or LeBron James is playing basketball. But like moto, like it's so crazy how different we are in skill than Eli Tomac, but we still have that same
exact same scenario.
Yeah.
Like I don't like this kid next to me, and if I'm Tomac, he's Sexton. I hate this kid. Like I want to beat him so bad, and it's for no dollars. I'm paying hundreds of dollars to come over here and just let this kid like mentally fuck me. It's like, it's insane. I can't believe that's what we do for a hobby. But it is, and I don't understand.
Yeah, I was listening to I think it was Mike LaRocco with Mathis earlier this week or something. They were talking about money for races and stuff like that, and I'm like, dude, I feel like I'm giving it my all, and I'm paying to race. It's nothing, but like even racing Jake to the first time, like I want to take him out, just to beat him, and it's like so dumb. So it's like, what kind of motivation would you have if you're racing for $100,000?
Yeah,
like, dude, whose front wheel would I saw off for that? Like,
You
it's
would
crazy to
definitely
think.
skip
'Cause
the
you feel
whoops.
like you're going all out. You
Yeah.
feel like you're like, I'm 100% in anytime I race, but it's like, man, there's definitely levels to that as well.
Yeah.
I think the little things like talking to making friends on the gate go away once that money starts coming.
Oh
your
yeah,
way.
100%.
You don't see
Yeah.
any of those 450 guys
yeah.
talking to each other
The-
or fist bumping like
yeah.
that Racer X picture
Heck
that I
no.
posted.
The dude's dad isn't helping me do my whole shot device. If there's 100,000.
Oh yeah. Sexton's mechanic isn't
He's
helping
not.
Tomac
He's
set
like,
his
yeah,
whole
you're-
shot device.
dude, you're
Tomac
screwed.
mechanic can't come to the gate
Dude,
with him.
C-Class of Loretta's, there's not a dad that's helping you with your
Oh
whole shot
God, I
device
can't
either, you
wait to
know?
get into that with you.
You know?
It's insane. Going through our trip, well, before, to me, the track was completely beat at Daytona in a different way compared to like
It was rough.
what me and Corey rode like 2 weeks away before at Wildwood. What do you think about? Because you were only a couple motos ahead of me, Mac. What do you think about how rough was it compared? Would you put on a scale?
I mean, it's not like I don't like you were kind of saying it's different from what you got at
Yeah.
Wildwood, which Wildwood you group more in the area regional category, which obviously that's what it is. But
Mhm.
I thought RCSX was rough in the way that it was kind of almost in disguise in some ways. You
Yeah.
know, like remember we talked about the two switchbacks before the finish line section. There was that table right before, and it's like I jumped the table to the inside one time and almost just lost it because the giant braking bumps on the landing
Yeah.
right there. It's just like little things you don't necessarily see, but when a track is that tight, how those tracks are at RCSX, it gets just like a weird. It's not necessarily speed
Yeah.
choppiness or something, but it's just braking bumps are a little different, and it really I don't know. It's just jump faces really. You get to
Yeah.
that sandy mixture and I thought it was very rough in that way because obviously we're not used to that.
Oh, yeah.
There's no track we can go to. Well, I mean, understandable, just the way the dirt is up here.
Yeah.
But there's no track we can go to that's going to replicate, that one out of the corner. That was the double or
Yeah.
triple over the tabletop option
Yeah.
after the whoops.
Where
Where
the
the ruts are just
Yeah.
pick one. There's 20 of them.
Like the base of the rut is like 6 inches under
yeah.
the
The top of the wheel.
yeah, and so it's like, dude, like it wasn't big enough for like whatever speed you're gonna hit it, it wasn't gonna hurt anyways.
Yeah.
But like but it's still
It was kind of I liked it though because it was a different type of rough than what we
Yeah.
probably experienced 85% of the time.
yeah. Do you think it would take like it was more like a finesse kind of rough? Like there's some roughs where you just gotta eat it. You're going to Texas for Oak Hill for the regional. Like you're not finessing through that track.
No,
you just
you had to be smooth at RCSX,
Yeah.
which is why I said like most of the times it's rough. We're at a motocross track where you just gotta more throttle the better.
yeah.
I thought a track like RCSX, the smarter you are, the better, and maybe you conserve power here to go faster there type
Yeah.
deal. So
Yeah. I think the RCSX, there's definitely there's a line that's destroyed, but I think there's also a line
Yeah.
if you get creative, that's pretty smooth.
Yeah.
Still.
I think and if you have like the mind to look for something like that, I
Yeah.
think that changes.
RCSX. And
Yeah,
they're
will
there.
help. Monday, where did you go, Corey? I don't even remember.
Me and Tucker went to Orlando MX that day.
Orlando. Yeah. Well, y'all went again, didn't y'all?
Yeah, we went again later. In the
Okay.
week,
How
but
what was
me
the
and Tucker went there
how
that
was
day.
how was the dirt there? How was
Dude,
it?
super sandy.
Really?
It's of course like that black sand Florida style, but pretty thick and deep there. Like no hard base. Like we were at Bostwick.
Yeah.
Dude,
Hard
Bostwick has that hard base where
Yeah.
it's like gets slick on you.
Uh-huh.
Like
you can get some
Orlando's
breaks
like
at Bostwick. and
Orlando's like
Orlando.
deep, dude. Like
Yeah.
it's thick, man.
But
Yeah.
the jump faces were really consistent.
Yeah, the
Really?
jump faces
Which was
were
really
like good
shocking.
and stable. Yeah, they weren't
Okay.
like getting combed out or nothing real bad.
Yeah,
it was
that's
surprising.
Awesome track.
Yeah.
Awesome place.
It
was
Everybody
pretty
on
good.
the fence of going.
Was
And it's like right there by town. Like you drive by Chick-fil-A and then you're like a block and you're like, oh, there's the track.
no way.
Yeah.
That's
Chance
sick.
went in gear to go get food actually.
That's
yeah.
sick.
The giga food and came back to the track. We're like, oh, sweet. What's up, dude?
Yeah, I think and it's cool going to trips like this, and I do agree. I think everybody should. Maybe if it's not Florida, but if it's anything, you learn different styles of tracks for sure. Because at Bostwick, we were talking about how the faces and the landings were so much different than what we have. Just how they build them.
Yeah.
Everything kind of like levels and then kind of throws you, and the landings are kind of peaky. But
Yeah,
like
they're
everything around here is just wherever you go, you have different builders, I guess to say, and so it's everything's kind of just a tad different.
Yeah, the more you see, the more you know.
Yeah.
Dude, I think that day we hit Bostwick, though, we caught it on a really rough one. I think two factors. I think they need to do kind of some maintenance and stuff to their track.
Yeah.
Like, dude, some of that stuff's so narrow. Like,
Oh,
those
yeah.
tabletops, they're bad. But I think it had been just roached from the previous days and
Yeah.
stuff because it just has, like, such that hard base and just those square edges.
Very square.
And it would get hard ruts, like, in the faces of the jumps, too.
Really?
Which is, like, very
Yeah,
un-Florida-like,
those caught me
you
off
know?
guard once or twice when I
Okay.
Yeah,
hit
they
one of the
were-
bigger jumps.
They were freaking like off to the side too, so they were gnarly. But yeah, dude. Anybody that can take a moto trip with the buds, man.
Yeah.
We had a killer time this year. We had so many.
Yeah.
people
So
come.
we talked about Bostwick, PAX, Wednesday.
I think PAX was the pinnacle of the trip.
Really?
Man.
PAX was
That
awesome.
was freaking sick.
Yeah,
dude.
if you haven't looked up PAX on like just seen videos of it, it does look like chocolate dirt when they like chocolate
It's
cake.
crazy.
It's insane. I didn't get to ride that day, but I was the team manager and videographer that day.
Vibes were high.
Vibes were good.
Vibes were high, man.
Yes,
Vibes were high.
I had the track dude come talk to me, tell me get off the track because I was like I would stand like literally in the middle of the track, just taking videos of people going by, and he's like, "Hey, like, you can't be on the track," and I was like, "Yeah, dude, I'm just getting videos." He's like, "Yeah, that's cool, but can you get off the track?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude, no problem. Like, I already got a couple of them." Like, and he's like, "All right, cool, thanks, guys." Like, and he was cool about it. He went like, "Get off the track, fat ass," can't, So
Track ain't for queers,
yeah,
boy.
yeah.
Could have been very hostile.
yes, could have been.
Who's this guy wearing
Yeah,
Bucky shorts?
Bucky shorts.
Yeah.
PFG walking all over my motocross track. Yeah,
Uh,
it sucks that your back wasn't.
yeah, I
feeling
think
up for it,
I think that would have been that looked like a sick track, and they had even the
it was problem.
intermediate track.
but that was fun. I remember at one point, unfortunately somebody got hurt on the big track, and hopefully they're okay. But everybody and their mother went over to the intermediate
Yeah.
track. and-
Everybody in the room meeting
were-
our whole group of 8 people on this kid's
No,
track.
there was a couple other people
Yeah.
that were
I
probably
mean, dude, like
over
we were
there.
like bullies on the playground. We like came over there like, all right, everybody else off. It's our track now.
But it really wasn't. A lot of times when you go to a big track, they have another track or something.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
kind of like whatever. It's there. You might do a lap on it just to see what it is, and that's it. But this track was actually pretty fun.
Yeah.
As far as a place that has 2 tracks, this one I could have ridden that one for a lot more and still had a pretty fun day on it.
Dude,
Yeah.
we did 10, 12 laps.
Yeah,
like,
all in a row.
a freight train
Yeah.
out there, you know.
I have many videos. I was just getting roosted, but then, yeah, I would definitely recommend PAX. Like, I think,
Yeah, Pax Track's good vibes, man. It's
Yeah.
got the RV park there.
Yeah,
It's
that's
got
pretty
bike
Very, very
wash.
Florida
yeah.
feel.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
Florida, very
I
Florida.
think that would be
it
a
just looks cool too.
I
Like,
think that would be a cool one to hit on a race. That if I had to race one of the
Yeah,
tracks we went
yeah.
to, I think that'd be a cool race one. Like
Did they
the
race at PAX?
yeah,
yeah,
I saw the gate, but I was trying to figure out where the first turn went. and
I
like,
didn't.
if
Yeah, I
it's
didn't know where it went either.
it probably goes straight like into that little sweeper
in
No,
left,
I
where the dude died at or crashed real hard at, and then
Yeah, maybe.
after
You
that,
think it goes
but-
over the wall jump first turn?
that'd be
no,
s-
no, like into
To the left. It takes left.
I guess your first jump would technically be like that big double.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's
Perfect.
good and safe.
C class.
Yeah, I'll watch you race that one, Grayson.
I really want to make a trip back down there, like, cause like driving down there, vibes were high, so it doesn't feel like 12 or 13 hours. Like, you're just pumped to get down there.
Yeah.
And then luckily this year I only had like 8 on the drive back.
Did you sleep in your van this year on the way down there?
No,
You didn't?
no,
'Cause I did on Friday night. and
yeah.
it was like 74 degrees.
yeah, I got down there and
Oh, it's death.
I got out to get gas and it was like 9:00 at night and I had just the biggest ass sweat ever and I'm like, there's no way I'm sleeping in this. Like, there's no way. I was like, I'll just find me, like, I had to go super far inland.
Tucker and I booked 2 hotels.
Yeah,
2, because I messed up and booked 2.
you're an idiot.
Yeah, one actually is for, I think it's tonight or tomorrow night.
Well, let's head down.
If anybody needs a
Oh, let's
hotel
hit the road.
in Tallahassee or Live Oak, Florida tomorrow night,
Yeah.
I'll cut you a really good deal on it.
Yeah, I think I had to go super far inland to find somewhere that wasn't just gonna like absolutely rape me on price
Yeah.
for Daytona Bike Week or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And
well,
s-
everything was sold out probably, too.
Yeah. And so
Because that's the thing. You got to think, a lot of those guys that are there for bike week don't necessarily care to stay right there because they're on motorcycles. They'll
Yeah.
ride in and out of
Just
town
ride
every
into
day and just
town.
have fun doing it. You
Yeah.
know, so
Man, the Daytona crowd, man.
Oh, insane.
It makes it's just like
undefeated.
like there's RCSX, there's Day in the Dirt, there's all the tracks in Florida. But dude, just bike week and Main Street's just like the cherry on top.
Oh,
It's
for
like,
sure. Froggies.
adds the entertainment at night, you
Yeah.
know.
Oh
it's
yeah, just like done riding for the day, got your shower.
Yeah.
Go check out Main
Yeah,
Street,
I
you know?
think I wish I would have got a Froggy shirt like Corey did. That was a sick shirt.
Yeah.
I
Good
lost
times,
my
good times,
train
man.
of thought. Oh, going down there for PAX. Yeah, I would definitely just maybe not make a long weekend. I would very consider doing that, like PAX, something else,
PAX is sick, man. It's
and then GPF. I really want to go back to GPF. It's 8 hours.
Did you ride GPF on the way back?
I didn't get a chance. I was
I've been to GPF once.
chilling.
Twice.
One,
Yeah.
about the same trip. So yeah,
'Cause
How
it
was
was
it?
COVID year.
Is it a good one to stop? Like,
blew up my bike on like lap 3.
you have the worst luck ever. Mac, how was the try?
Awesome facility. Absolutely worth the stop. Call before you haul.
Okay.
Call before you
Yes.
haul.
Okay.
Great. I mean, super cool.
Yeah, so we split up on Wednesday. Thursday, y'all went to Orlando.
Back to Orlando.
You went back to Orlando. You went for the first time.
Yeah.
Friday, what'd y'all do Friday?
Practice for Day in the Dirt.
Okay. You did practice this year. I didn't know if y'all were doing practice this year.
I stayed in the camper.
You
Mac just
Tucker and
s-
I had planned to go to Croom and
Yes.
go ride, but I woke up and was sick.
you need
Croom
to
dreams.
stay away from Dade City.
I know. And
Oh.
yeah, so for anybody listening, last year did the exact same trip, minus different stops, whatnot. Woke up Friday at Day in the Dirt, sick. Woke up Friday at Day in the Dirt this year, sick. So
That sucks.
I don't know.
Yeah, that is miserable. Drink some milk or something. I don't know
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
It was
take your
bad this
vitamins.
year.
Take your vitamin.
Take
You
your
not take
vitamins,
daily
man.
vitamins.
It's his vitamins. That's what he's using.
How was Day in the Dirt Friday? Did you even watch anything? No?
I left the camper for
He's-
all of 20
he's-
minutes.
Okay, so
He was
you're
holed up the whole
Yeah.
time.
yeah, you're out of the conversation. How was Day in the Dirt? I want to hear.
So Day in the Dirt goes like this.
I've only heard a
So
few things.
Day in the Dirt this year, vibes were high, that's for sure.
Always.
Yeah, I mean, dude, like we've been saying, our group this year was pretty thick, so we had to try to get a big spot when we were coming in there, but we were kind of crammed together because we relied on some Mississippi redneck to hold us a spot. And
Perfect guy. I would have loved him.
He didn't exactly come through the best, but anyway, yeah, we get all set up Thursday, chill, then Friday practice this year. So me and Mac have been every year, and the previous years the track's pretty much been the same every year.
Mm-hmm.
And this year they added like a new like little woods loop in there.
Okay.
And it like added like a minute 45 seconds ish to the track.
Oh,
and it
really?
kind of made a difference, honestly. Like
Really?
in those team races and stuff when you're waiting around.
Yeah.
Like that extra 45 seconds, like you can actually catch your breath.
Yeah.
But it was nice to have something new, like just a new section.
Yeah.
Which to
And-
add to that, like, there's only, for those that have not been there, it's not like Glen Helen where they can have a completely different track every year. They're very
Right.
limited to space at Dade City Raceway.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's-
and what they have, they've definitely been creative with.
Yes.
Yes,
Like have like
100%.
gone everywhere they could and
'Cause
stuff.
you're
and
in town on that one too.
yeah,
There's
I mean,
a
like,
school.
dude, there's a school next
Yeah.
to you, and as we know now, the hospital is behind it, Main Street over. Yeah, for people that don't know, it's at Dade City MX, and it just kind of it goes through like the Pasco County Fairgrounds, which is next door to the motocross track, and it's a cool deal, man, because like there's nothing really dangerous.
Yeah.
But dude, it's sandy, and so it just gets rough as
Oh,
hell,
yes.
man.
I remember.
Like I was
that.
telling them, the only thing that I know that gets rough as that is like Loretta Lynn's, and that's
Really?
got like bumps and ruts, you
Yeah,
know. But this is just like
bumps.
dude.
Yeah, everywhere.
And because like, dude, there's what
Yeah,
like
there are no
400 or
brakes.
500 people racing.
No,
and-
I would think there's more than that.
no, I think
Really?
I
more
think there's more than
500.
that.
You think
Yeah,
there's more?
absolutely, because there's
I
times
would
that there's
think-
several hundred on the track.
Yeah, I would think there's
I know
probably
like
a
Switcheroo,
1,000
there was like
people.
183.
I
or
bet there's
something.
over 1,000 bikes there.
Yeah,
Man,
because
that's a lot.
well,
That's a lot.
Daytona has 1,000, and that was
RCSX does.
yeah 30.
Wow.
There was 32 classes times what 30 people,
Yeah.
960.
Damn.
Yeah. So
some of those are but whatever.
Yeah, bikes on the track.
But bikes on track, yeah. I guess there is that many, but yeah, that thing gets rough as hell, dude.
Yeah.
And the sand, dude, it's just sand rollers. So I'm loving.
Oh
half of
yeah,
it, dude.
that's
Especially that new section. It was just like I would just catch up to people and just like blast them in the berms. So that was fun. But yeah, dude, Saturday we did little practice sessions and stuff. That was cool. They did like the memorial lap for whatever, like some promoter from Florida or whatever. But Ryan Sipes rode. That's the first time he rode in like a year, and that was cool. They did like the pro practice. Tyler Medallia.
Oh, T-Dax.
Boy was hauling.
Oh my!
son.
I can't believe he showed like.
Him,
I guess all the
Pettis, like the Canadians. I guess they're getting away from the snow or whatever. But yeah, they were all out there ripping. But the dude that surprised me, and I saw him for the practice day, and I was like, maybe that was him, but I'm not sure that was him. But the two-stroke race on Saturday morning, I was in intermediate line and the expert pro line, like in the Red Bull dudes are in front of me, and it was freaking David Knight, like the Ayresburg Rodeo champion.
Oh,
like the bad mofo, dude.
No way.
David Knight, and he smoked everybody in the two-stroke race. Like, beat him bad.
Rinsland?
He's a bad dude,
was Rinsland
man.
racing him?
Yeah, Reslin was in that class too. Oh, he smoked him. Dude, David Knight's a bad dude. He's GNCC champion, Ayresburg Rodeo
But
champion.
he's older, isn't he?
Dude, but he's still bad news, man.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
I remember.
He's on 252 stroke.
I think
hauling.
it's sick to see. Like, I would love to see some of these like enduro guys, like Billy Bolt. Me and Donnie have had an arguments about like, what you think he would be able to like qualify for a night show at Supercross.
I don't. Maybe an outdoor.
Yeah, I told him like outdoor for sure, and he's like
Supercross is so different.
I told him that, and I'm like,
I'm with Corey on that.
yeah, and I'm like, I'm sure he would fucking rip. Like it's like Stu
like
Baylor,
GNCC, something like that. Like he'd smoke
all
people.
those guys are.
Well, it's kind of like Caleb Russell.
Yeah,
motocross qualifying, absolutely.
Yeah.
Could Caleb Russell qualify for a main event?
Supercross
250 or 450? 250 maybe, 450. I'm going to say no way right off the bat.
I don't think so.
But that's not what he does. You know, he doesn't ride Supercross.
Yeah.
You know.
So that's why I think like it's cool to see somebody like the hard enduro,
So, like somebody like Tyler Medallia, like that dude rides all kinds of stuff. Man.
Yeah,
like he's a ripper and everything. It's cool to see Pettis. Like Pettis rides Supercross. He was out there. He was out there ripping.
Yeah.
But man, even those dudes hauling, like Medallia was flying, whatever. That year that Marchbanks, I saw Marchbanks riding day in the dirt
last year.
That is by far the fastest person that's ever passed me. Like hands down, dude. It was scary.
That's
like
insane.
I was like, holy! He never let off. It was crazy. It was wild.
David Knight's 44 years old.
Yeah.
I guess he's old to me. Yeah,
Still rips.
Yeah, that's
Still
insane.
rips.
I wouldn't have thought that.
Yeah, so Day in the Dirt was pretty.
Yeah, I remember last year when I did it that you said how chewed it was. I remember we were like, I was like a moto or like 2 races before something, and I remember going over. It was a big sweeper, and all it was at the beginning of the day was just a sweeper. You sweep around, and then you made an S, and you went back to the barn. And I remember it was like practice sweeper. I went out for like midday, and it was 4 foot tall
sand
rollers.
Yeah,
And I'm like, oh my god. And then like they had like a team race or something right after it, and me and Corey, we were sitting there, and like C was about to go out, and Corey's like, there would have been a lot of deaths right there just from the amount of people going into those unknowing what they are. Everybody, people were dead, like battlefield dying around, and I'm like, that'd been cool to see because at least I would have not crashed because I would have known, but I would definitely ran somebody smooth over. But
skipped off their back.
Oh yeah, like use their bike to like jump. Yeah. And so.
That'd be Day in the Dirt style though. That'd be totally accepted. Bro, you want to talk about Mathis bitching about lawless land for Vet Nationals? Dude.
That's what I think.
Day in the Dirt's a little,
and
it's gotten more organized every year, but there's still like, and I'm guilty of it. I went out there for like the last race, and dude was just like cutting the track. Like I saw Tucker, like I was on the first straightaway of the motocross track, and I see Tucker going towards the barn. And I'm like, oh, I want to go ride with Tucker. So I went straight across and just got behind Tucker. And like that, and like nobody's raising an eyebrow or waving a flag or nothing. They're just like, oh yeah, he just wanted to do that. That's fine. Like there's no, like they score the team that's in first, and then after that it's just like whatever you got, you're screwed.
That's why the only reason I didn't go this year is because it was it was kind of like something I just checked off. I've been and gone. Is it worth it? If it's your first time, yes.
Absolutely.
Like the partiness, the
vibes.
Yes,
it's just a different race.
I definitely think everybody needs to go.
Yeah. But like I'm not, I just didn't.
But it's not the end all be all. Like
it's cool that
it's good vibes, good times.
Yeah. So what's this? I've heard there's a rumor like they're not calling it Day in the Dirt, they're calling it Day in the Concrete. What's
day on the concrete?
Day on the concrete.
What's that'd be Saturday. Saturday was the day on the concrete.
Was it bad? Tell us about Saturday.
Dude, so like we were saying, it's like that track's wild. It goes like all kinds of places, and I mean, dude, you go from sand to like sidewalks to a barn, which is like smooth, like finished concrete that's slick as shit. And then you like go back to sand. Then you go in this pit that's like gravel. It's literally got like bricks, like brick and mortar. And you're going over a sand roll, and you're like, okay, let me miss that brick and that brick. And
like a section of alligators.
Yeah, the alligator pit in the back, and
Ring of Fire.
There's some Wookiees. Like you have to go through a swamp. You get on one of those airboats and ride across. But anyway, you're coming, like you go by the school and you're on the road.
Yes.
And this is real. You actually are on the road by the school.
Yeah.
And you like come back into the fairgrounds, and it's like it's like asphalt, but it's like a golf cart trail or something.
Yeah.
And so, dude, there's like all kinds of crazy places to crash or whatnot. So you kind of got to be careful. And, dude, Saturday, our buddy Jared found out how bad the concrete sucks, man.
Worst place on the course to go down.
Worst place on the course, dude. Some dude just hit his brakes a little too early, a little harder than Jared was expecting. He just went right into him and high-sided, right on the concrete, did his collarbone pretty good, and road rash and everything. And
no surgery.
No surgery, though. No surgery.
That's insane. Like, the way y'all described it, it was just like, if I can imagine, like a C-class practice at probably Wildwood. The C-class, for sure. I was at Wildwood C-class practice, and I'm just in my lane, and some kid just comes from the far left, straight over my front end, and then I go down and I catch him up in it, and I got up and I was cussing at him. Poor kid, probably thought I was like a grown ass adult, and like that's what I imagine just happened on asphalt though.
Like, see, this was the 30 plus, so we had done like the 2-stroke and all of our team races and stuff, and this was the last race of the day for anybody in our group, and our because we were all leaving after Saturday. And so it was just Drew McCarter and Jared. I think maybe Tim rode it too because he's 30 plus.
Yeah.
But anyway, Tim and Drew had gotten back, and we were like, man, where's Jared? Because Jared's a damn good rider.
Yeah,
like
he's really good.
I figured he would be right behind Drew coming back. And then we were like, well, he may be doing something. And then Chance went to check and saw him on the medic cart and all that.
No way.
Yeah, so we were pretty surprised that it happened and everything. But, dude, like I was saying, it was 30 plus, so it was him and some other dude, and like they were just genuinely racing.
Yeah.
And like we were saying earlier about going, like, how hard we race for no money, I think it was one of those situations, you know?
Like,
I think it was the last lap, and he was trying to get on this dude's inside, and the dude just like, jammed him up too bad.
That's
because I know where it happened, and you're kind of like drag racing into a sharp 180.
Yeah, I think I know where it is.
It almost happened to me with a kid on a freaking Super Mini.
Can you imagine? Hold on.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine Corey starts the week off at RCSX in the whoops, crashes, breaks his visor, ends the week with a Super Mini kid cutting his front wheel off, and Corey just road rashing. I wouldn't want. Corey would be on suicide watch for sure. I'd be so scared. What?
I would.
Let's see what we got here.
I'd just low side and just completely slide into him and take him out before I'd let myself.
It's like the same people who would cut the track on the rollers, on the whoops at Daytona.
Just ride around the whoops.
So that's the good and the bad of of day.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Day
Day
in
in the dirt, but
day
it's
on the
also a day on
concrete.
the concrete.
Yeah.
It'll fucking
Don't-
get you quick, man.
Don't put new tires on. I would recommend that if you're going to day in the dirt.
I bought a brand new 14 at Daytona, and
You're
then
stupid.
it freaking first practice at Day in the Dirt. First lap I come around, I'm about to get on the road, and I'm like, shit, I've got on a brand new 14. I forgot to switch wheels. I
And
was
you
like,
just.
well, screw it. Here we
Oh
go.
my God! See, I would have skipped.
So I
would've
burned her to the ground.
Yeah, but you
son.
can't think like that. Like,
I
it's
mean,
just
it was
one of those
100.
things, like,
You know, it was $120 for the whole
so
week.
something divided by 6, 7
Yeah,
ride
we're
days,
good, we're good.
$15 a day to play. You know, that's,
And we, I
it's
mean,
worth it.
me and Sawyer, I
I seen
burned her to the
Sawyer.
ground.
Yeah, I saw
Mine
Sawyer's.
was even worse than Sawyer's.
Really?
Bro, I had no knobs in the middle when it was done.
No way.
We had a scoop flat in the middle.
That's insane.
She was done for big time.
Yeah, don't put new tires on for day in the dirt. That's a tip we can give you.
Yeah, bring you a worn out.
Yeah.
tire for sure.
If you need a worn out tire, look up.
Tucker Hanks has got one. Hey, shout out to Tucker Hanks. Be in the shop all week and just fixing my bike 20 times. And
Oh, dude, I've said it before. Every time I'm at the race with Tucker or Grayson, I know that if they can't fix it, then my weekend is for sure over.
I'm not. I don't know how Tucker does. Like, I'm not working on anybody's shit if I'm at the track. Like, people come up and ask me like
man.
questions and stuff, and I'll be like, I can figure it out. But like, I'm in a different mindset when I'm working on something, and then when I'm like at the race. When I'm
You
at the
actually
races,
care when you're at the race.
yeah. When I'm at the races, like, when I'm at the races, I'm focused on like, it's different, I guess, because I do it for a living. So like, when I'm at the races, I want to get away from working on stuff.
yeah.
And so, like, I was like,
That's why I think it's so funny that I always talk Tucker into working
Yeah.
while we're at the races.
I'm like, dude, Tuck, there's no way. Like, if you needed me to, like, do something small, whatever, but somebody's like, hey, like, this isn't running right. I'm like, man, like, call up Jake and then drop it off, and I'll get to it next week. Like, what do you want me to do? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not.
I'll send you a bill, buddy.
Yeah, like, what? I'll send you an invoice. Yeah, I don't know how he does it.
Yeah, Tucker was that kid on the 85. I can't think of his name right now. RTSX in our pit next. He was pitted with.
Oh yeah.
Dawson.
Yeah.
Tucker was over there adjusting his sag like middle of the day. Like,
Yeah.
he's got his mallet out, tink, tinking away.
Yeah, we did have a sag setting, like, just like all 6 of us were just like, we decided to set our sag
Yeah.
midway through RCSX, like,
And it's good to do it once a year.
yeah, like next year we'll do it next year in the garage.
I gotta get my shock serviced.
Yeah, what was I gonna talk about right before we talked about Tucker?
We were talking about day on the concrete.
Yeah, so like, if you need a new
Wrapped up
used
that.
tire, Eli Williams, they go through some tires, dude. I'm
Really?
talking, yes. Titties are still on the edges, and they will throw a new one on there.
Mitch is slapping them tires on.
Oh,
He got them rubbers like that.
he
my
ain't
God.
like, oh.
He going through them rubbers like
Yeah,
that.
so if you need I will give it to you, because
Damn,
it will
Mitch.
just sit out here, and I will give you, like,
Mitch is
have-
all in.
I'm like, dude,
Moto Dad of the Year.
yeah, I tell him, I'm like, dude, if you could see
I
some
love
of these
Mitch.
kids' tires that are winning, if you could see them, you would be like, okay, like, yeah, we don't need another tire, Like, I see some kids' tires, and they're like, hey, like, I kind of want to buy you a tire because you're winning, and that's, like, impressive you're winning on that tire, like, how bald it is. And I would want to, like, give a kid a tire.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, it's insane. Like, yeah, that boy, at least he does them now. Like, at least I don't have to do them anymore. Like, Eli does his own tires. Like,
You taught him just enough to be self-sufficient.
Yes,
when he comes up here to work.
yes,
So that's fine.
exactly. So that was our Florida trip. We got anything we missed? Any big events?
Not with Florida.
Well, I mean, I can tell the story of my journey home, and
Oh.
after Jared got his day on the concrete.
What happened there?
Oh, you actually genuinely don't know this.
I really don't know what happened.
So, like I was saying, Jared's crash was at the end of the day, right?
Yes.
So we're all packing up, and as we're realizing, oh wait, Jared's dying somewhere, we should help him. So we find Jared, all that. It's like 3:30, 4 o'clock.
Uh-huh.
So we eventually figure out that Tim's going to take Jared to the hospital,
Uh-huh.
and then I'm going to drive my van to the hospital, and Sawyer's going to drive Jared's van to the hospital because Jared had his own sprinter and
Yes.
everything. So we do all that. We get to the hospital. Of course, he's back there with the doctor. We're like, this is going to take forever. So me, Sawyer, Drew, and Tim, we all went and ate Chili's in Dade City again.
Yeah.
And so we did that for like an hour and then came back to the hospital. And by the time we got back, Jared was getting released from the doctor and all that. So we're like 5:30 right there.
Yeah.
And we're still in Dade City. And so at that point, after Jared was released, he was like, all right, well, my wife's flying into Tampa Bay and is going to drive my Sprinter van home. So we're like, all right, well, we'll take you. Sawyer will drive your Sprinter van and you because he can't drive because his collarbone's broken, obviously. So Sawyer's like, all right, I'll drive your Sprinter van to Tampa, and then Corey will meet me down there and we'll drive home from Tampa. It'll delay us an hour or whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
what? You're going
Dude,
to
the dude just
killed
himself.
Yeah, I
and
know, but I'm
broke his
saying
collarbone.
I
know. It's out of the way.
Yes, very.
But it was only like 45 minutes.
They couldn't fly.
It was only 45 minutes to the airport. That's all the way to the airport.
And then
that's
back
where she was meeting us.
Yeah, and you're coming back.
So we're like, all right, we'll suck it up, dude. You just
died.
broke yourself off.
Yeah, you just died.
Where
are y'all at? Where are you?
Me
dude.
and Tucker hit the road.
Yeah, big thanks to Tucker. Man.
Well, okay.
Gone like the wind, dude.
Point,
and Chance Mooney, gone like the wind, dude.
Well,
Chance was gone.
This is even Chance's buddy.
Chance's
The only reason
buddy.
I know
Chance,
Jared is
Chance
because of Chance.
Chance was the first sleeve, so let's start with that.
Jared,
Second of all,
what
are 6 people gonna do driving one van? It was kind of like.
I mean, I know.
I'm giving Sawyer and Corey full credit because they did step up big time.
I got liable because I am Jared's buddy. I was his association to being on our trip, so I was like, well, I've got to take care of the situation in some kind of way.
I would have as soon as that collarbone healed, I'm coming over and I'm beating Corey's ass if he made me do day in the dirt. 100%. I would have.
Anyway.
But yeah, Corey and Sawyer stepped up big time.
Yeah.
So we're like, whatever, dude. Tampa, it's going to delay us an hour, whatever. Tampa's 13 hours from home.
You're already down here.
We're like, great, here we go. So I drive on to Tampa. I get to Tampa at about 7:30ish.
Yeah.
Right as the race was about to come on TV. I know that. And I'm down there.
Best race.
And I'm sitting in the parking lot because I think Sawyer and Jared are coming right behind me, right? Because they were like, all right, we're going to stop and get his prescription filled, and then we'll be right behind you.
Yeah. So
I'm like, all right, I'll have to sit and wait there for 30, 45 minutes, and then they'll be there.
Yeah,
whatever.
and then you're going
So I'm sitting there for a minute, maybe an hour or so. Like, I'm getting into the heat races at this point. And I'm like, dude, where the heck are they, man? So I call them, and they're like, oh, man, the hospital screwed up the prescription, sending it to the wrong pharmacy, blah, blah, blah. So they had to go back and get it sent to another pharmacy, and then, dude, the second pharmacy screwed it up too. So they had to go back to the hospital and eventually get another doctor to write a different prescription.
No way.
Yes. So they're at like an hour and a half delayed. So they get this other doctor to write the new prescription or whatever, and they're like 2 hours. It's like 9 o'clock at this point.
Golly.
And I'm like, all right, they're going to get it. Head this way. I'm continuing to wait. It's like 10 o'clock, dude. We're starting the main events, man. Like the main events are starting.
Yeah.
Like 450 main's about to start. And I call Sawyer again. I'm like, please tell me you're somewhere close. And they're they're like, bro, we're still in Dade City. Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes. Yes. So they went to one pharmacy, and it took them forever to fill the script, and they didn't have the second thing that he needed.
Yeah.
So they had to go to another pharmacy like 30 minutes away, and they finally filled it. And it's like 10 o'clock, and they're just now heading to Dade City.
Holy
they're just now
shit.
leaving Dade City, heading to Tampa.
No way.
I didn't know that.
That's insane.
Big oof.
Well, we could talk about Sawyer's. It could have been Sawyer just gave him the wrong directions too.
Oh, I mean,
Sawyer could have ended up
of all of this.
God, Sawyer could have ended up like, yeah, let's just go like to the Daytona airport and then go, let's go an hour.
He's like, oh no, Sawyer did his. Sawyer got his here in a minute. Sawyer got his here in a minute. So 10 o'clock, they're finally leaving, heading towards Tampa.
Yeah.
I've watched the whole main event at this point. I am now like, all right, I'm just going to go to sleep until they get here because we're driving through the night. Like there's no option. So they finally get there at 11 o'clock. Sawyer has to wake me up, and I'm like, all right, you finally ready to leave? Okay. I've been here for 4 hours sitting at the airport. So we finally leave. And as soon as we get on the interstate, I'm like, all right, Sawyer, we're going to go left here, stay in the left 2 lanes, stay in the left 2 lanes. And what does Sawyer do? Go to the right.
Holy
and
shit.
we veer to the right. And now we're immediately delayed 20 minutes on top of the 4 hours I've been sitting in the parking lot. And at that point, it just kind of went dead silent in the van.
Oh, tension
and
would've
we
been
rode in
high.
silence until we got out of Dade City, like 35 minutes. And then I'm just like, fuck, dude. And Sawyer's like, hey, man, I'm tired. Dude, can you drive? I'm like, yeah, I can drive, bro. And so I drive like 2 or 3 hours and like get to North Florida. And me and Sawyer switch out, dude. And I like when we got in the car, we decided that like it's pointless to get a hotel or like stop and sleep. Or like, dude, we'll just drive home. We'll be home at a lovely like noon or 1 o'clock or something, you know. And we started our journey at 3 o'clock the previous day.
Dude.
So we're like, all right, whatever. We'll send it through
20
the night.
hours.
So we're shifting off, whatever. I've been driving since like after Dothan, like in between Montgomery and Dothan.
Yeah.
And I come through Montgomery. It's like 8:30, 9 o'clock. We get into Birmingham. I got to pull over and get gas.
Yeah.
Last gas stop of the thing.
Oh.
I fill up for gas, get back in the van. As I'm pulling on the interstate, I'm like, man, my wheel was kind of hard to turn. That was kind of weird.
Oh, God.
And I like go a quarter mile or so, and I look down, and the red battery light icon's on, and I'm like, oh shit. Go like another quarter mile, and my temperature gauge starts like flying through the roof, and I'm like, fuck, dude, my belt or something just came off or something. So me and Sawyer pull over. We assess the situation. It was my belt. I think we had just been driving too long, like 10 hours straight. I think it got hot and just kind of fell off.
Really?
Yeah. So we're like, all right, well, we got to find a belt. We're like, well, we know Tucker and Mac were staying in Montgomery last night, so they're probably still behind us.
No way.
So we're like, all right, we scramble. We find a belt that's in Birmingham. The only belt that's in Birmingham that fits my van.
You didn't come to Napa of Senatobia. We have belts. Old Coleman would have got out in the bed on a Sunday morning.
Express delivery, huh? Straight to I-65. So we find a belt. We get Mac and Tucker to get the belt. We wait like an hour for them. They give us a belt. We're like so excited. We're prepared. We like throw it on. We think we know what we're doing. We get her all buttoned up. Tucker has to open up the shop and give us a special tool, of course.
Yeah.
Right there
Some
on the side of
12-point
I-65.
sockets, you know, son. So we get her together. We drive like a mile, and we hear this like like this unraveling sound, and we're like, oh God, here we go. There's something that's destroying the belts. So we get out of the van, Tucker's opened up shop. We're working on it again.
Tucker's opened up shop.
We're working on it again.
I'm like directing traffic.
Yeah, Max got traffic cones out.
What
it's an operation.
Yeah,
this isn't our first rodeo.
When was this? Like what time?
Sunday around noon.
Sunday? No, dude, it was like 9:30 when it started, and then we worked our way up until like 11 o'clock.
It was about a 2.5-hour ordeal.
Okay, so Sunday at noon or 11.
And we started Saturday at 3 o'clock.
I was still I was leaving. I was probably
If you'd
Tallahassee.
You
I would.
you didn't pull over.
I was hoping.
You would have just rolled down your window, flipped the bird, and like got on your gas extra hard.
Yeah.
Classic.
So y'all were doing all this,
God.
and I'm driving, and I'm like, I'm probably like just getting into Alabama, and I'm like, it would be my trip if I pass an orange trailer with a Toyota.
Sprinter
Yeah,
van.
I would love it.
Oh my God.
You would just pass us.
I would.
Wouldn't you?
Oh hell
100%.
yeah.
Yeah, that's why you
100%
left
you would have.
Well, let's get. So I was actually looking at what you texted me.
So I didn't even finish. The second time we pull over, we unravel it and figure out that we're idiots, and we went under one pulley and should have went over, and we have like 85% of a belt left.
God, did it make it home?
Yeah.
Thank God.
We didn't think so though. We kind of like put it back together, and we're like, "Oh, this is kind of just
Sketchy.
rigged and sketchy."
I would
so
have been
we're like, "Tucker, follow us to this next exit, and
You'll know.
ditch the van there." But then, like once we started driving, we're like, "Oh, I think we actually fixed it.
Yeah.
It was fine. You know, it was driving normal."
That's good.
And dude, we made it all the way home on a 85% of a belt. and
What a trip.
Love it.
What a trip.
yeah, so 24-hour trip home from Dade City was
Yeah. Yeah, I
very,
was
very patient testing.
Yeah, so y'all sounded like y'all had a rough. As soon as I left, it seemed like it kind of went downhill, which is expected. When I leave.
Wow, I never made that association.
Yeah.
But,
So
might be true.
Yeah. So let me go on, y'all. Anybody who wants to go on a trip, I'll tag along and I'll make it great. That's all that will happen. All right, we're closing shop here at Graham KTM. It's a Friday at 5:27. I'm ready to go home, probably have a couple beers on a Friday. Maybe, I won't consider cracking one open on the way home.
No teas.
See, that's different. Teas aren't alcoholic, so I can crack one on the way home. But a beer, I'll drink a beer at home.
Okay.
That's what.
Arizona tea, I guess.
Yeah, I forgot
Yeah.
you're a big Arizona tea guy. Yeah.
Roxon won, man. I thought you'd be having cases of these.
Dude, I should put some in the shop. That'd be great. Then people's stuff would be worked on. I'll work on it. Friday, just imagine Friday at 12.
Yeah,
I
you get
get
the impact driver out. Yeah, no need for those rivets or screws anymore.
Oh man.
I appreciate you boys coming in. It was a very nice episode. We'll have to call Corey back. Corey has endless stories, an endless amount of time in C class. And Corey,
Wow.
we'll have.
Shots fired.
I mean, no, it's true. It's interesting. We'll have to get Corey and Jake on the same phone call together.
That'd be a good one.
Then there's be some arguing. I'll be the one just stirring the pot and listening and laughing, and then Corey and
Yeah.
Jake will go after it.
That'll be one episode.
Yes, that'd
And
be a
then-
good
And
one.
then a third one would be
Yeah.
the history of
Midsouth
Midsouth
Moto.
Moto.
God, it'd be like when Steve did the rise and fall of No Fear.
Yeah, it
Where you
will
had-
kind of be like that.
Where you had to
know?
get so many different people on
Yeah.
what happened. I would have to go to Burleson, Tennessee to find Gail.
Oh,
you know-
we can get Uncle Gil on the phone. You think I don't have Gil Bradshaw's number?
I
You're
know
crazy.
you do. Yeah.
You're crazy.
Well, guys, thank you so much. It was nice talking to you. We got a good hour out of it, and we'll definitely have more. Everybody, just if you liked it without Jake,
Like and subscribe.
like, comment, subscribe. If you like it without Jake, tell me personally or text Jake that and be like, "Hey, dude, like you suck. I'd rather
know.
just hear Grayson." And maybe we could just do it without Jake, if that makes sense. Not to hurt his feelings.
Last but not least, shout out to both the Shaws for living the Texas dream.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
I wish
Keep looking for results.
if we had 4 hours to spare, we could have made this a really good long episode with the Shaw.
Future episode you can talk about. Maybe
Yeah.
get Jay Shaw back on.
Yeah, for sure.
I
Jay
wanna hear
Shaw,
about all their experience over there.
get
So,
David Shaw, get
Yeah.
every Shaw we know on. Just
Lane Shaw.
Lane Shaw, talk to
Lane
Lane
Shaw.
Shaw. That's my guy.
Lane Shaw's the man. He's
Yes.
awesome.
So like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you.
Fuck Brock Pappy.